Kenwood Excelon on my bike since I bought the speakers in August of 2023. It was a kit. Came with the Excelon amp and two Kenwood Excelon's front fairing speakers. Pretty good kit. I'll post a picture up here of it, how much I paid for it. I think it was like 650 bucks for the whole kit. If you just go to replace the speakers, I think they're like 250 bucks. I've had to resolder these things 2 times. This is the 3rd time that they've gone out. My right speaker went out, and I'm tired of messing with them. It's one of those deals where when you touch the connectors on the speaker, all of a sudden it'll take off again, and I get tired of pulling them grates in and out and checking on these speakers. So I'm gonna upgrade to the DS18. I didn't know much about this brand or these speakers until I saw them on eBay. They're pretty cheap. I don't think they have them in stock on their website, DS18 website, but I did see them on eBay. A lot of different audio providers will have them still. So I was able to get them for 120 bucks. So I'm gonna swap these out and see if there's any much of a difference. So here's the DS18 speakers new. DS18 Pro. They look pretty thin. I don't know if I'm gonna have to do any modifications to get them in the bike or not, but they're the same ohms. They're a 2 ohm speaker, 200 watt RMS, 400 watt max. My Excelon amp is 80 watts RMS per channel. So these will fit right in. You don't have to flash the stereo with this particular amp from Kenwood, this Excelon amp. And you don't have to crank it all the way up either, or it'll start to distort. So even if you don't have the amp, you can still use these speakers with your stock setup because they're still 2 ohm. And you don't have to flash your stereo or anything. So to get these ones out, it's easier to take the whole freaking fairing off and push in behind here on the grate to pop it up out of there, but all it does is snap in there. So I'm just gonna use like a plastic window tool, or I think I got a long plastic zip tie, and I'm just gonna kind of go into a spot back over here in the corners where the snaps are and work my way in there and pop these out. So I've just got like a really long, thick zip tie, and I'll go into the corner here and get this popped up, and then they'll just pop out of there. It's always kind of spooky popping these out of there because you feel like you're gonna break it, but once you get enough leverage on it, it'll snap out of there. There's the Kenwood Excelon. I didn't have to do any modifications to get these speakers in there. They went right in, bolted right in. It's a T25. Got 4 bolts on this thing. And one up here. And there's a little tab up here. As you pull the speaker out, you kind of got to wiggle your way around that little tab right there, but it's not a big deal. And every time I do this, I'm like, don't drop a bolt down in that freaking fairing, and every time it freaking happens. Well, not every time, but there's this tab right here. You just kind of got to push your way around that. And there it is. So Kenwood XM65F. Peak 300 watt, RMS 150 watt, 2 ohm. And these have the slide-on spade connectors. So here they are next to each other. You can see the Kenwood here has got this nice woven cone, and then this little tweeter right here. DS18. This cone says it's waterproof, and it looks pretty tough. And when we flip them over, you can see right here, I've had to solder this one twice, both sides. This little wire that goes to the actual cone. Somehow the connection between that wire and this terminal gets interrupted. On this one, I had to solder right to it and kind of bypass this terminal. So a lot of times, because your body conducts electricity, when you touch this, it'll take off again. Then you put the speaker in there and everything's fine. And then, you know, however many miles later, right when you really want your stereo, one of the freaking speakers will go out. So I'm sick of messing with these. I'm gonna try out something new. So the DS18 doesn't have the spade connector, it has the spring-loaded connector, which seems fine. So I'll cut these female end spade connectors off. And if I ever want to switch them back, I can just use a butt connector and crimp back on, put them back on. So I'll cut back, leave myself a little bit of material on here, and keep these female spade ends just in case. But it looks like a lot bigger magnet. And it looks like they're about the same depth. I don't think I'm gonna have any problem getting it in there. We're about to find out. So you can see the differences between these two, but I'll put up a picture of the stock versus the Kenwood, and you can see the difference between those two. And like I say, if you want to just use the speakers, you don't have the amp, that's fine. There's still 2 ohm with the DS18, and there's still 2 ohm with the Kenwood XM 65Fs, the Excelon speakers. So you can swap them out without the amp anyway, but with the amp, with the Kenwood amp still connected, we'll see what this DS18 is gonna do. So it fits in no problem. I'm just gonna pull it back out and do the wiring. This is a 23 Road Glide, so if you have the same type of fairing, they'll fit right in there. No spacers or modifications needed. So I'll snip that with enough on there where I can get a butt connector back on it or solder it if I want to later. Strip that insulation off there. Give them a little twist. Now they're ready to slide into the speaker connector. So there it is, connected into the speaker. I don't know, we'll see. Usually I like to hard solder these things or use a spade connector, but we'll see how this works. There shouldn't be any issues with it. I'll tell you what, this is a heavy little fucker. It's, I mean, it's not overly heavy, but it's kind of awkward because all the weight's back in the magnet, and just kind of trying to hold this thing and put these wires in there was kind of a pain. So mounted in there perfectly flush, no problems. Move on to the other side. Looks like I got some cool stickers there too. So same thing here, I'll come in here and snip these, give myself a little bit of room in case I want to solder or use a butt connector to put these back on if I need to. So the wire with the little black line on it goes to negative, the other one goes to positive. Got them snapped down in there with the spring. And they sit right in there flush. I didn't have to use any spacers, no modifications at all. I'll be careful putting these in because It's just plastic you're screwing into, so we're gonna need a torque wrench. Just get them in there snug. And the covers just snap back on. This one's the same way. All right, let's see what that do. Especially just with little 6.5s. I can tell you right now, it sounds louder already. I don't have the bike started, but so far it sounds like they're way louder. I'm gonna go for a ride and see what it actually do. Well, I can tell you right now, with an enclosed helmet even, 80, 90 miles an hour, it's way louder. Way louder. DS18 for the win.